Hey everybody, I wanted to discuss the importance of frequently going into your map and checking things. So what I am doing is I am importing this entire farm that I know is going to give me some errors that I want you to see. All right, so let's import all of Hill Ridge Farm into our map, and then I will start up our map and I will show you the errors that I get, and basically I'll reiterate why you need to go and check these frequently. It doesn't matter where they are positioned, they are on the map. Let's just go into the map and I'll show you the errors first. All right, here we are into Farming Simulator, and let's go to hard like always. Let's go to our starter map and hit deselect everything. Yes, we want to deselect everything and hit start. Okay, so one of the things you can do is if you enable developer controls, well, how about we start with that at the very beginning? So let's get out of this. What you want to do is you want to go into your My Games Farming Simulator 2017 directory and open up the game file, go down to development, hit true on controls. And then that will allow you to do many things, but one of them is right now, if you hit the tilde key, you'll see the error log, and you get to see the very end of the error log. This is important to know. You can quickly check, okay, I have an error. I don't need to go any further into the game because I want to check those errors out. So let's exit, and we will go into the log. Now, if you don't know where the log is at, you need to get very familiar with this. It is under Farming Simulator My Games. And if you right there, log. I actually have it a shortcut somewhere else so I can see this elsewhere. But so basically what happens is you can see in here, when you first start up the game, it lists your computer specs and then it loads every single mod. And then when you actually load a specific map, it loads those mods into the game. And so you can kind of see that's kind of why it shows them twice, because when you first start the game, it loads them all. I don't know the difference. It's kind of like a preloading. And then you'll see where you actually get the errors is after you start to load the map. So right here, let's look at where our errors at. Errors. ERROR. Well, I didn't get all the errors that I thought I was going to get, but let's cover the errors that might happen. Let's go on over here to Hill Ridge Farm on the West Coast. Now, one of the things that I was looking for is a station not defined, and we did get that error. And that is because we imported this station, right? And we clicked on a light there. So everything that, well, not everything, a lot of things that are gameplay objects also need to be defined in something called the XML. And if we go to gameplay, and is it under in or trigger? I think it's under trigger. Yeah, so here we go. So you see the index farm silo _1, and you see the XML file is under maps West Coast XML. Let's open that up real quick. And where is, this is the West Coast. So it's under maps and the West Coast.xml right there. So if we look here, farm silo 1, this defines what type of crops this scale or this silo can hold. It defines, a number of things, whether or not it appears on the PDA, whether or not it's a selling point, or if it's just a farm silo, whether or not it supports extensions, and then the range of basically the range that you can add those extensions. And the game, if you import something like this into your map and you see this error, station not defined, it is because on your map XML, you do not have something called farm silo _1 that is in your map. All right, let's head into our own XML and see what we get. So let's look at map01 XML. Now, you can see I do not have a farm _silo 1, it is just farm _silo. That is the one that Bullet Bill has in the map by default, so it is registering an extra silo. Now, another problem could be if you have, so say in our West Coast map, Bullet Bill had named this farm silo. Well, then we would get something called a duplicate ID. And so if you get a duplicate ID when you import objects, it's just because you have two names out there on the map, and you could have two entries here, but it's not going to do any good because the map doesn't know what entry you are referencing here since they both had the exact same index name. So that takes care of duplicate entries and station not defined errors. You see those frequently when you import other objects. So it is imperative to go through and import things. You don't necessarily have to do it one at a time, but check the map, basically go into the game and check the map, check the error log after you import anything, because then you can finish setting it up. Because what happens is, if you don't and you wait till the very end of the map and like, oh no, now I have to set up everything I imported, it's really hard to remember where everything is, where you got everything from, and how to set everything up. And a lot of times you'll find stations that you didn't mean to put on the map or are there and you forgot where they were at because they're invisible. So one thing you can do is, like, if you're on the West Coast and you know, hey, I don't want to change anything, so let's just copy this and we'll paste this on over to my XML and then hit save, and then that station should be defined. Another common error, I'm not going to go into it, but another common error, and I see why it didn't happen. I was expecting to get an animated object error. I actually did not get this error because this is in a separate transform group called lights, so we did not actually import these. However, if you do import animated objects, you have to be careful because those lights, and like, let's look at the gate, it's a little bit simpler. The gate is connected to a whole separate XML file called animated objects XML. And where is it? Is it up there? There's the one with user attributes. So here it references maps/animated objects XML. Now, if you import something like this, that I think I already have this set up on my map, which is why I didn't see the error. Unless these are, let's see, let's just click over here. Are these doors, not the light, are the doors under Hillcrest? Yeah, so the doors look like they are under a separate transform group as well. So we did not import any doors when we imported this into our map. And that's another thing that you need to pay attention to. You always need to pay attention to what you imported and exported. So I'm afraid this is not a perfect example, but I wanted to produce this video real quick just to show you that some of the pitfalls of importing and exporting, and especially get into the map and resolve the errors instantly. Even if it's a simple error, do not wait to resolve that error, because sometimes that error can turn into other errors, and then you really don't know what originally caused it. It's a huge problem later in the game to go back and fix 20 errors at a time, even 5 errors, even 2 errors. Just fix the errors when you see them. And I'm not going to talk about animated objects. I have a separate tutorial on animated objects. You can see a link for that. I'll also include a card or whatever little button pop up. If you're on the PC, you can click on that and watch animated objects. But it talks all about animated objects and getting them set up on your map. I'm not going to cover it here, but I just wanted to produce this quick video to just, again, I'll say it again, check your map frequently, especially after you do any major changes or import and export things. I'm going to cover a video on moving around the animal pens pretty soon here, and that's something else. Like, if you do anything major like that, always go into the game and check what you did. Check for errors, because I'll explain this in the animal tutorial, but that can generate some other errors like static actor, moving, and if you do the wrong thing or delete the wrong transform group, then you can really mess yourself up. But if you go into the map and check immediately after you did something, then you know, hey, this is probably related to what I just did, because I know there weren't any other errors in my error log, because I am going into the map and checking things on a regular basis. So if you don't go into the map and check anything on a regular basis, then you make some changes, and you go into the map and check, well, are those errors from now, or are they from 5 hours ago when I was doing something else? It's really imperative. I'm beating a dead horse here, but Americans love our idioms. Just go out there and check your map frequently, use that error log, and then if you have any problems, be sure to post them over here on the FSUK help index board. This is for modding help. You can see there's many other people up here. These guys are really good. There's a lot of guys that just frequent that help forum, and I used to do it more. I try to get in there every now and then and answer questions that I know how to answer, but my time is being taken up with other things as of late. But anyway, it's not that I don't want to answer your questions personally. I would love to. If it's quick, you can ask it in the comments description here on YouTube. It's a lot easier when you can go over here on FSUK and you can post pictures, you can post your log so that people know what you're doing. And those are a lot harder to do on YouTube, if not impossible. So I cannot recommend FSUK help forum enough. Go there and post. These guys are very friendly and will help you solve your problems.